I do hope that every one of you is still safe, even if we are just having online classes today. And for the discussion that we will be talking about today is we will deal with business analytics framework. No? So, quick recap lang sa naging discussions natin on the previous lesson or the first or introduction to business analytics. I gave you the definition of several terms na important with this course. Just like what is business analytics, what is big data, what's the difference between business intelligence and business analytics, and what are the history or evolution of analytics. May mga years ako na binigay sa inyo, as well as ano yung different types of analytics. And today, I will be discussing different frameworks or things that you should understand how the data becomes valuable on the business end. So, I already sent the material to all of you last night. So, I hope na meron namang nakapagbasa. Kung hindi naman, sana may nakapag-check, kung ano yung magiging flow of discussions natin. Ayan, for the learning objectives of this lesson, about business analytics framework, we will be talking about how data becomes business value, and the second one is will explain the basic concepts on data analysis framework, data extraction, data warehousing, and data analytics. So, we will turn those data na sinasabi ko sa inyo ng mga nakakaraan na business value, ibig sabihin, something na worth to help sa business, and how does processing of data works for businesses. So, technically, that is something that we will be dealing about today. So, I have some introduction information for all of you. Sabi dito, information in its raw form is not much useful for business decision making. It has to be collected, analyzed, and present in a way that is useful for decision making. In this module, we shall discuss the framework that allows us to turn this information into valuable data. Shall discuss how data becomes business value and explain the basic concepts on data analysis, framework, data extraction, data warehousing, and data analytics. As stated in the learning objectives, I am assuming na at the end of this lesson, should be able to understand how data becomes valuable for businesses and how does the concept of data analysis framework works. So, yun yung flow of discussion natin. Ayan. So, to be specific, mga anak, I know that this subject might be or might sound too technical for all of you. So, parang hindi naman na siya talaga business related. But this discussion is divided into two parts. So, I will be explaining to all of you the framework for business analytics, and the other one is the types of analytics. So, yun yung ating i-discuss today. Yan. So, sabi dito sa framework for business analytics, the process of turning raw data into business action is the framework for business analytics. So, yung bagay daw, o yung proseso na kung saan ay yung mga raw data na meron sa bawat departments ng isang kumpanya, na ito na-turn natin into something na operational, tina-turn natin into something na action inside the business, is yung tinatawag nating framework for business analytics. So, sabi dito, there are 3 steps in turning data into analytics. And those 3 steps are data extraction, data warehousing, and ETL, or also called as extract, transform, and load processes. So, we will be focusing on the 3 frameworks or 3 steps on how we turn the data into analytics that will somehow contribute to help the business operations na sinasabi nga natin. And once again, I would like to remind all of you that business analytics exists because we wanted those manual processes or manual operations of the company to become more efficient and effective. Nag-exist ang business analytics para mas mapadali at mas maging epektibo yung mga proseso at operasyon sa loob ng isang kumpanya. No, hindi nag-exist yung business analytics para magpahirap palalo sa mga operations, sa mga steps no na ginagawa natin sa bawat department na meron sa companies. No? So, ang reason niya why it existed in the first place is to become helpful for the business operations that a certain company has. No, so the framework for business analytics, which are data extraction, data warehousing, and ETL, ay may different na definitions. No, so sabi dito mga anak, data extraction is the first step in turning data into analytics. There are at least 3 sources of data, which are the source system, raw transactions, and from documents and forms. Second framework or second step for framework for business analytics is called data warehousing. This is where the data is cleaned, curated, organized, and ready for analysis. The third step in framework for business analytics is called ETL, or extract, transform, and load processes. This is the process of moving data from source system to data warehouse to an analytical tool. Now, so, in the next slide, mga anak, I will explain to all of you how these steps works for a certain business. Now, so, it is very much easy to understand for all of us through the use of infographics or visual representation. No, kasi nga, pinag-aaralan natin yung business analytics, mahirap siyang pag-aralan kapag word by word lang natin inaaral. No? So, I included some attachments, supporting documents that will somehow enlighten you on how this data become helpful no, for businesses. And these 3 steps is very much helpful no, to understand how business analytics works for businesses. No, so, ito po yung isang example. No, so, do you understand the infographics or the visual representation states na iintindihan nyo ba kung bakit ganyan? Yung nakalagay doon sa how coffee becomes sales. Can someone interpret paano nga ba nagiging sales ang isang kape in the first place? Meron po bang gustong mag-share or meron siyang insights regarding the infographics na nasa harap or nasa inyong screen? You can raise your hand if you wanted to answer. Any interpretation, pwede naman. You can share it to me. And before I explain my part, anyone? Kung wala mag-raise hand, magtatawag ako. Calling once, twice. Yan. Yes, anak. Just Leia. Alright. So, thank you, Just Leia. So, tama naman, no? Na we turn something or we turn the coffee bean into something na it can be ingested, kaya siya ginagrind as instant coffee mix. And then, for it to be able to become pleasing on the eyes of the customers, ay tinuturn natin siya into something na beverage, which is called iced coffee or frap. Ayan. So, in this instance, mga anak, dito sa example na binigay, we can somehow relate this to the 3 steps of frameworks in business analytics. So, sabi nga nung nasa ilalim yung kulay brown, sabi dyan, coffee beans can be considered as the raw materials. And when we consider coffee beans as raw materials, it needs to be storage. Kailangan siyang makip. No? Yes, anak, meron ka interpretation, Alisa or Alisa? Okay. Alright. Ayan. So, when we turn that raw material or that coffee bean to a storage, and sabi nga natin, sa pagpaprocess ng isang raw materials into input, we need to do some works or to do some operations for it to become an end product. Now, so, after storage, ginagawa na siya, pinoproseso na siya, at nagiging produkto naman na talaga siya. No, in that case, kapag nag-grind na natin yung coffee bean, nagiging instant coffee mix na siya or grinded or grounded coffee na. Sabihin po, pwede na siyang timplahin. Pwede na siyang ihalo sa tubig. And some people wants to have this kind of drink. For example, on our case, kami mga teachers, okay naman na, nagsisettle naman na kami talaga sa powdered na coffee. But, to make the coffee more valuable and more pleasing on the eyes of the customers, that processed material, which is called the instant coffee mix, turn into inventory. Inventory nino? Inventory ng mga businesses na nagbebenta ng drinks. Kagaya ng nabanggit nga kanina, Starbucks, yung cafe, or different coffee shops. Inventory nila yan. Ibig sabihin, supply nila yan. Yung instant coffee mix na yan. And para mas kabili-bili yung produkto na yun sa mga customers, we turn it into coffee beverage or iced coffee, frappuccino, and whatsoever. So, nagigets naman no, kung paano nagiging sales yung kape. Kasi, in the first place, sobrang basic lang ng coffee bean. No, kung titingnan natin. Napaka-basic lang, coffee bean. Yet, yung coffee bean na yun ay po pwedeng maging rason kung bakit dadami ang sales ng isang business. No, so, paano natin siya i-relate sa business analytics? No? This is just a realistic example, no, of how something we think na hindi naman siya makakatulong, yet on the end part ay ang laki pala ng contribution niya para mas maging valuable ang isang bagay. Kasi coffee bean into coffee beverage at tumaas yung sales. Now, how does this infographics relate into business analytics? Now, sabi dito, turning data into analytics. So, we have several things or operations na ginagawa to be able to gather the data that we collected every day inside the company. So, may tinatawag tayong raw data, may tinatawag tayong data insights, and may tinatawag tayong business action. Kung i-relate natin sa kape kanina, yung raw data ay, yung raw data ay, doon sa ating example kanina. Anyone? Coffee beans. Yes, Pauline. Yan, sagot naman na. Ayan, so, ang raw data ay maire-relate natin sa coffee bean. Yung data insight, maire-relate natin saan? Sa akin ba? Maire-relate ko ba sa akin yung data insight? Comparing to the example earlier, raw data will stand as the coffee bean. Data insight, thank you, Jusdea, will compared to instant coffee, and the business action is compared to coffee beverage. So, i-relate natin yung kape dito sa data into analytics. Ayan. Thank you for those who participated in the info message. Ayan. So, it is normal no for businesses to have different types of data. Nag-agree ba kayo doon, mga anak? Maraming data no, na meron ang isang business, lalong higit kung multinational company ka, kung international business ka, you have millions of data to collect every minute. Oras-oras, minu-minuto, iba-iba yung pumapasok na information sa kumpanya na nag-ooperate or kumpanya pagmamayari ng isang tao. No, so, that specific raw data needs to be extracted. Meaning, kailangang ilabas. Yung raw data, for example, si Eliza Joyce ay head ng finance department. Si Kevin ay head ng marketing department. Si Deo ay head ng advertising department. So, advertising can be considered part of the marketing, yet they have different functions. No, magkaiba pa rin yung function ng marketing and advertisement department. Yet, iba rin naman si Alisa or si Eliza dahil siya ay head ng finance. But, all of those three collected datas. Na yung mga data na yon ay functional sa operation ng isang negosyo. So, how does those data that they collected become business action? So, after getting the raw data, we need to warehouse it. Diyan sa baba, nakalagay extraction. Next step is warehousing. And the idea of warehousing is that may isang system, may isang devices, may isang automation or isang machinery na ginagamit ang isang negosyo na nag-iipon ng lahat ng collected data from different departments. No, balikan ko lang, iba-iba nga po yung nakokolektang data sa bawat oras at minuto, yet, as business, you need to collect all of them kasi lahat sila ay may function. Hindi naman natin po pwedeng sabihin na, sige, bukas ko nakokolektahin yung sales natin. Unahin ko muna yung marketing. Hindi naman po pwedeng ganun, no? Kasi lahat sila ay may kanya-kanyang function sa loob ng isang negosyo. So, we need to warehouse it. Yung idea ng pag-warehouse, kung i-relate natin sa real life na business, ano yung mga nilalagay natin sa warehouse? Kung may idea kayo sa warehousing. O, kunwari, si Shopee. Pag sinabi natin warehouse, ano kaya mga laman? Yes, Gerald. Products. Yan. Sabi ni Alisa Joyce dito, or Eliza Joyce, products. Yan. Yung mga produkto natin ay iniimbak natin. Tama po ba? Agree ba kayo doon? Hands up if yes or heart. No, 'di ba yung idea nga po ng pag-warehouse, may mga stocks tayo na inilalagay muna natin sa isang lugar. Ayan, different stock, storage room of products. Ayan, thank you mga anak. No, so, iniimbak muna natin siya sa isang lugar para kung kakailanganin na nating i-disburse or ilabas, meron tayong safe place. No, meron tayong safe na lugar kung saan natin kukunin yung mga produkto. 'Di ba? Ganun yung idea ng warehousing. So, parang ganun din sa data. No, 'di ba nga, iba-iba yung mga data na meron tayo sa bawat negosyo. Lahat ng yun ay kailangan nating ipunin sa isang safe place. And yun yung idea ng warehousing. All of the collected data was stored or is stored inside a warehouse. Literal na data warehouse. Mamaya, makikita nyo sa next slide kung anong itsura ng warehouse. Ayan. And through that, no, we collected all of the data that we have from different departments, and we will use different types of analytics, which will be discussed later. Pwede natin gamitin into something descriptive, yung data na nakuha natin, pero pwede natin gamitin na something predictive or something prescriptive. And those three types of analytics is considered as business action. Kung na-store natin na maayos yung data na kailangan natin, maku-curate, ibig sabihin, mafi-filter natin kung ano yung mga data na kailangan natin. And yet, those collected data that we warehouse, that we stored, can be used as a reference of what actions we should do for our business. Kasi, kagaya nga nung example ko sa previous lesson, hindi ko, ayun, I hope na na-share ko yun, na ang analytics is something that should be used, no, by the businesses in order for them to help their operations, help their processes, at hindi maging pahirap. No, hindi maging pahirap yung mga additional transactions na ginagawa. And sabi nga natin dito, when we deal about data extraction sa unang framework ng business analytics, we turn data into analytics, yet gumagamit tayo ng iba't ibang sources of data. So, let's go to the next slide. Turning data into analytics. Sa first step natin, sa framework for business, may data extraction tayong tinatawag. Ang data extraction, mga anak, or ang pagkuha ng mga datos ng bawat departamento ay po pwedeng mahati sa tatlong bagay. Pwedeng galing sa source system, pwedeng galing sa transaction, or pwedeng galing sa documents. Source system, kung i-relate natin sa school, yung portal. Ayun ang ating source system, 'di ba? Everything appeared on our portal ay data na meron ang BSU. Tama po ba? Data ng students, data ng teachers, data ng admin, data ng registrar, data ng accounting, lahat yon nakacentralize sa isang source system. Ganon din sa isang kumpanya. May ginagamit din silang isang source system. Next, transaction. Araw-araw, may transaction ng isang negosyo, imposibleng wala. Transaction kanino? Pwedeng may binibenta kang produkto, may binibenta kang serbisyo. Yung transaction na yun ay makukonsider na pagbili ng kanilang products or service. Another thing, we can consider transaction as the relationship between supplier and the business. Tama? Diba, bumibili tayo ng inventory, bumibili tayo ng raw materials, bumibili tayo ng iba't ibang mga products from other businesses para magawa natin into something na ibebenta natin sa ating kumpanya. Ganun. So, may transaction, yung day-to-day basis na mga operations na ginagawa ay iba sa mga data na nakastore sa source system. And third is yung documents. Kagaya ng resibo. Ano pa ba? Yung kung i-relate natin sa yes, anak. Ayan, o kung i-relate sa school, COG nandun, yung COR nandun, Certificate of Enrollment nandun. No, so, lahat ng documents ay pwede rin namang i-release from the portal. Kung i-relate naman natin on a business context, yung documents natin ay yung mga prepared na reports, financial reports, yung mga prepared na strategic concept paper ng business, pwede rin namang yung mga billboards, yan, documents yan. Yung mga flyers, and many more things, no? Yung mga printed or mga hard copy documents ng isang negosyo is considered as documents. So, lahat mong tatlo na yun, yung source system, yung transaction, and yung documents, may kanya-kanya siyang data na iba-iba ang nature. So, anong gagawin natin para maging valuable siya or makatulong siya sa processes ng negosyo? Kailangan natin siyang i-store sa isang data warehouse. As you can see, dito sa ating data extraction image, may data warehouse. Lahat ng mga nandyan, ayan po ay mga automations or mga machines. No, yung nandyan sa data warehouse. Lahat ng mga nakokolekta nating data, dyan natin ini-store. No, imagine, si McDonald's, imagine lang, no? So, how do the McDonald's know na okay yung sales nila around the world? Kasi warehouse din, nag-store sila ng kanilang data sa isang warehouse. Pwede naman nilang sabihin na malaki ang kita nila sa Pilipinas. Yes, kasi makikita nila yun through system, source system. And they can say that they are globally competitive dahil napapagsama-sama nila yung data na meron sila around the world because of warehousing their information or their data. So, imagine that yung three things sa data extraction, source system, transaction, documents, i-store lang natin sa isang imbakan. Lalagay lang natin sa isang warehouse. Ang tawag doon ay data warehouse. And kapag napagsama-sama na natin yung mga dokumento na yun, may ilan doon sa mga documents na nakolek or may ilan doon sa mga data na nakolek na useful, na kailangang i-process through the use of analytical tools para makatulong siya at makapagbigay siya ng suggestions and recommendations sa dapat i-improve pa ng isang negosyo sa kanyang mga business operations. Example. Yan. So, bigay lang natin definition ng data warehouse. A centralized storage system where data from different sources, yung databases, application, files, etc. is collected, integrated, and stored for analysis and reporting. Kagaya ng binanggit ko kanina, ang purpose ng data warehouse ay pagsama-samahin lahat ng information, necessary or unnecessary information sa business, store yun, at gamitin yung mga data na yun for analysis and reporting. Sabi nga dyan, think of it as a library of data, organized and structured so that decision makers can easily access the information they need. Mas madali nilang maa-access yung data na kakailanganin nila kasi meron tayong storage na pinaglalagyan ng lahat ng mga datang na-collect from different departments. And that warehouse is called data warehouse. Ayan. So, understanding data warehouse. Nakagamit na ba kayo ng Excel? Pero ba sa inyong, sana naman hindi lang sa class list na gamit yung Excel, ano? No, so, yung mga basic na, formulas. Ayan. So, kung hindi man, pag-aaralan naman natin siya eventually. Ayan. But this is an example of understanding data warehousing. Dun sa kulay blue na nakikita nyo sa inyong screen, ayan ay data collected from sales. Period 1 to 16. O, imagine na lang natin day 1 to day 16. Ayan daw yung kanilang sales. O, kuwari, yan yung sales ni Shania's company. Yan. Sa day 1, nakalagay na 45.45, tapos may sales ako nung sales bin na 679,542, ay 548.41. Sabihin na natin na itong blue ay data collected from sales department. Ayan, sabihin na natin ganon. Next, yung orange. Period 1 to 16 din. Sabihin na natin na day 1 to day 16 yan. Tapos may nakalagay na price A and price B. Example niyan ay, ito yung presyo ng mga binebenta kong produkto. Kuwari, siomai. Siomai kunwari yung tinitinda ko. No? Shania's company ay nagtitinda ng siomai. Iba yung data collected from sales, iba rin yung data stored galing sa price na nakalagay dyan ay may price A and price B. Siyempre, yung amounts ng price, iba. Kasi kuwari, presyo yan ng bumili ka ng 12 peraso na na siomai. Yung number 1 naman, yung presyo na pag bumili ka ng siomai na 4 na peraso lang. Kuwari, ganon. So, may data tayo na na-collect from price of the products. Meron din tayong na-collect ng data from sales. And those two data that we collected is different from one another. Iba ang purpose ng presyo ng mga produktong binibenta ko at iba rin naman yung purpose ng mga sales na nakalagay na data. Tama po ba? Magkaiba sila ng function. Pangatlo, may data pa ulit tayo na na-collect. Advertising and talent. So, ginagamit naman siya ng marketing department. Na etong advertising, iyan yung ginagastos sa pag-a-advertise nung pinibenta kong siomai. Kuwari, around the world na yung kaya ganyan nakalaki. We're talking about millions. Baka meron na ako sariling billboard sa NLEX. Lahat ng kanto, may mukha ko na nagtitinda ako ng siomai. Sa talent, o kunwari, nag-hire tayo ng mga artists. Bayad ay 93,000. Bayad ay 15,000 sa influencer. 76,000 kasi artista uli yung kinuha natin na mag-endorse. Ayan. So, from that, as you can see, sa data warehousing, lahat yan kinokolekta natin. Pinagsasama-sama natin. Kasi may iba't ibang information tayo na nakokolect from different departments. Etong nasa blue, data from sales. Etong nasa orange, pwedeng data from procurement or from finance. Ito namang gray na Excel ay data from marketing. Yet, in order for us to understand if okay yung pricing scheme, o ibig sabihin okay yung presyo ng pagbenta natin doon sa siomai na binibenta ko, kasi yun ang nagre-reflect sa sales, at kung meron bang effect yung mga advertising cost na binabayad natin or advertising expense. I-relate natin siya sa isa't isa para makagawa tayo ng isang recommendation or makagawa tayo ng isang strategic decision para sa business. Kasi kailangan nating i-relate yung sales sa presyo ng produkto at sa kung paano siya ina-advertise. Tama po? Sana nakukuha pa, no? Nagigets pa? No, they are interrelated with one another. Meron siyang relationship sa isa't isa. Yet, we collected the data separately. No, nakuha natin yung data ng magkakahiwalay. So, paano natin yan gagawin na pagsasama-samahin? Sa tingin nyo, sa paano paraan natin mapapagsama-sama ito? Ayan, nakalagay na dyan, no? Naka-highlight na yung term. No? Saan? Kakabanggit ko lang. Saan ba natin sila ini-store para papagsama-sama natin siya lahat? Yan, sa data warehousing. Yun yung idea ng source system, ng transaction, at ng documents na pinag-blend natin lahat sa isang data warehousing para ma-turn natin siya into something na valuable for business. O another image. Yan. So, dito sa next slide, kung makikita nyo, napagsama-sama na natin yung mga data na nakalagay na yung period 1 to 16, nakalagay na yung sales A, sales B, price A, price B, advertising, and talent. Nagawa natin yan because it is easy now for the businesses to extract the data that they have because they store it on a data warehousing. Kasi imagine niyo na lang kung manually mo gagawin yan, kung may-ari ka ng negosyo. Laki ng negosyo mo. Tapos manually mo yan gagawin. Paano? Kasi nga, sabi nga natin kanina, minu-minuto, segundo, meron tayong data na nakukolek sa business. May umorder sa'yo sa Food Panda. May umorder sa'yo sa Grab. The same time, diba ang dami nun? Imagine niyo na lang, pare lahat ng Pilipino ay umorder ngayon sa Food Panda at sa Grab ng Jollibee. Tapos 10,000 silang Filipino na nag-o-order. So, ang dami no, na data na nakokollect from time to time sa isang system. And with that, we need to somehow blend those data that we collect para magamit natin siya to create a business strategy. So, sa idea ng data warehousing, pinagsama-sama na natin yung sales, yung price, and yung advertising talent. Yun po yung thought kung paano makakatulong or bakit importante yung data warehousing sa proseso ng business analytical or business analytics framework. Kaya siya pangalawa. Kasi una, ini-extract. Pangalawa ay ini-store. O ano naman yung pangatlo? Ano sa tingin niyo yung pangatlo? Nabanggit ko na kanina. ETL. Tama ba? Ano yung pangatlo? ETL. Yes, anak. Adam. Yes. Extract, transform, and load processes. Balikan ko lang yung infographic kanina. After nating makuha lahat ng data from source system, transaction, documents, and we put it into data warehouse, we need all of those data to be extracted, transformed, and load. Sabi dito sa definition ng ETL, this is the process of moving data from source system to data warehouse to an analytical tool. Dito na pumapasok yung different apps. Naalala nyo dun sa first discussion natin, may mga nabanggit ako sa inyong major companies na nag-handle ng business analytics or ng data analytics. So, nilalagay na natin siya sa analytical tools. One of the simplest example of analytical tool is Microsoft Excel. Kagaya ng example ko kanina. Diba, iba-iba naman yung na-curate natin, iba-iba yung mga na-filter natin na data. Nilagay natin sa data warehouse, tapos gumamit tayo ng analytical tool para pagbangga-banggain yung mga data na yon na na-collect natin. So, simplest form of analytical tool is Excel. Kaya kanina sa example ko ay Excel yung ginamit. No, so, yung mga usage ng analytical tools is to somehow give us description, to give us descriptions, yung mga predictions, and also, mga recommendation. Yun ang purpose kung bakit nag-exist ang analytical tools. And later on, mas madidiscuss ko kung paano siya nagiging useful. Ayan, so, alright. So, dun sa example na nabigay ko kanina, from this, no, napagsama-sama na natin yung data, from sales, data from price, data from advertising talent, isa pa sa usage ng data warehousing is this. Yan, kung makikita nyo, zoom ko kung mazoom pa. Ay, hindi na pala. Alright. Now, so sa data warehousing, may different data pa, or may different data pa na naka-embed dyan. So, kunwari, nakalagay dun sa isang box, si customer, nakakonekta kay sales. Sundan nyo yung cursor ko. Ito, si customers nakarelate kay orders, na nakarelate kay employees, and si employees ay nakarelate kay partners, nakarelate si employees sa employee partnership or employee partnership, na naka-connecta pa si employee sa iba pang sectors. Yan, basta. So you can see, sa data warehousing, dito yan nagaganap lahat. Ma-connect yung bawat information na nakokolekta sa isa't isa. No, iyon yung purpose ng data warehousing. Sige, kahit naman sa common sense, no, mga anak, isipin nyo na lang, umorder ka kay Food Panda. Tayong tao, naglagay tayo ng information sa Food Panda kung saan o-order. Si Food Panda ang magre-relay kay concern na restaurant kung saan ka umorder. Sila ang magpe-prepare. Diba, kapag ka nakita nila yung order, na nag-check ng data from Food Panda, papunch na yung order. Tapos kapag na-punch na yung order, iba ulit ang gagawa ng orders kasi nasa kitchen. Nasa kitchen, sasabihin sa delivery na okay na po. So, interrelated sila sa isa't isa. May connection sila sa isa't isa. And once again, all of the data collected in different departments is connected with one another. Gaya nga, no, si sales, related kay price, related kay advertising. So, yung mga bagay na yon sa data warehousing yun ginagawa, na ikinokonekta yung milyon-milyon na data na nakokolekta natin sa isa't isa. So, yun yung purpose niya. Ayan. So, to better understand how these things work, or anong purpose talaga ng data warehousing, ng data extraction, para makatulong siya sa business, ginagamit natin siya into different types of analytics. Wait lang mga anak, may kumakatok. Wait lang. Ito klase. Ako muna. Okay, talong tayo. Nasa klase. Pagod na. Sorry po, maingay ako mag-discuss. Alright, I'm back guys. I'm with our program chair. Ayan, so sabi nga dito sa description ng types of analytics, now that we have collected the right data and processed them into usable form, we need to find at what level are we going to dig deep into the data to get fact-based insights. We need to find out so we can come up with better business decision. So, the idea of storing all of the data collected from different departments, hindi naman pa pwedeng kinolekta lang natin siya for nothing. Kino-collect natin siya para makapag-come up sa isang better decision making, no, para sa mga businesses. And all of the data that we store can be used, no, in different types of analytics. And those three are descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. No, sabi natin dito, sa three types of analytics, it can help the businesses make the most out of the big data that they have and find the solution to problems that they have. Nabalikan natin yung example natin earlier. Sabi natin dito, merong relationship between sales, may relationship between price and sa marketing. Kasi kailangan nating malaman, is it functional that we use this kind of promotion? Kasi dapat nagre-reflect sa sales na may purpose, no, yung advertising expense na pinagkakagastusan ng isang kumpanya. And effective ba itong pricing scheme na ginagawa natin sa mga tao para mas bumili sila ng ating produkto. So, interrelated siya sa isa't isa. So, itong mga collected data na to, when we use analytical tools, pwedeng nasa-summarize na siya. Ibig sabihin, napapagsama-sama na yung mga collected data, yung mga collected numerical data, tapos ini-even out niya na. Kunwari, yung 531,000 ay gastos. Diba nakalagay nga dyan, gastos siya sa advertising. Yet, yung sales natin sa first day ay 679,548. Gaano kaya natin katagal magagamit yung advertising na pinagkagastusan natin ng 500,000 para mas mag-reflect na tumaas yung sales natin? So, i-relate natin siya sa bawat isa through the use of analytical tools. And with the types of analytics na sinasabi natin sa una, descriptive. Sabi dito, ang descriptive analytics is data that is used to benchmark or to profile. Now, we use this kind of analytics to know kung anong description. Anong description, anong definition ng data na na-collect natin. Later on, ibibigay ko sa inyo yung example ng sa Waze, kung paano nag-work ang system ng Waze. Familiar ba kayo dun sa Waze? Alam niyo yung Waze na app? Yan. Sa mga nagda-drive, siguro familiar kayo, pero dun sa mga hindi, sana naman ayan, alam nyo kung ano yung Waze. Alright, so, dito sa descriptive, yun nga, ginagamit natin yung descriptive analytical tool para magbigay ng description, makapagbigay ng profile, and ng benchmark. Kapag ka naman predictive yung ginagamit natin, data-driven prediction, nagbibigay ng prediction, yung analytical tool na ating ginagamit. Third is data-driven or recommendation, and that is called prescriptive analytics. Sabi sa prescriptive, this is used to create recommendations through simulation and optimization models. So, kung i-relate natin sa first lesson natin, napakadaming big companies na nag-o-offer ng different analytical tools. And for all of you, my dear students, ang pinaka-accessible ay Microsoft. So, yun lang muna sa ngayon yung gagamitin natin. Pero paano, nakakatulong itong iba't ibang business analytics na to or types of business analytics sa isang business? So, kagaya ng sinabi ko, bibigay ko yung example ng Waze. Nakikita nyo na sa screen? Ayan. So, dun sa 3 types mga anak, sabi natin dun sa descriptive, nagbibigay siya ng profile or nagbibigay siya ng description. Sa predictive, sabi natin, nagpapakita siya ng relationship between different types of data and making prediction. Kaya siya, yan, may prediction dyan sa pangalawa. Pangatlo, ay nagbibigay siya ng recommendations through simulation and optimization model. Kung i-relate natin sa Waze app, mga anak, sa descriptive, when we use Waze app, example, bumiyahe si JM, babiyahe si JM, papuntang Maynila, galing Bulacan. Kung descriptive analytical tool ang gagamitin, i-check lang ni JM sa paligid doon sa Waze kung saan traffic. How is the traffic? Binigyan ka ng description na itong ruta na to, maraming traffic dito, maraming sasakyan dito. Familiar ba kayo sa sinasabi ko? Ayan, sana naman na nagigets, no? Simple lang naman yun sa Waze. Ayan. So, when we talk about descriptive analytical tool, meron lang tayong sinasagot na isang tanong, and that specific question gives us definition. Kaya siya tinawag na descriptive. How is the traffic? Descriptive analytical tool, tuturo sa atin ng Waze. Sa ang lugar, maraming pula. Ibig sabihin, kung may pula doon, traffic doon. Yun yung descriptive analytical tool. Pangalawa, pag predictive analytical tool yung gamit or predictive analytics, how long will my travel be? Binibigyan tayo ng ETA, exact time of arrival, kung di ako nagkakamali yung meaning. So, sabi dun sa Waze na from this place, from Bulacan to Makati, darating ka daw doon ng 6:30 p.m. At aabuti ka ng 1 oras at 1 oras at 16 na minuto sa biyahe. May prediction na binigay? Yes. Kasi binigyan tayo ng oras kung ilan oras yung gugugulin natin sa kalsada habang tinatravel natin yung gusto natin puntahan. May prediction. Sabi nga dito, we are determining relationship between two different types of data. Yung two different types na ginamit natin is yung location and also yung time. Separate yung kanilang function. Third, kung i-relate natin sa prescriptive analytics, sabi dyan, we create recommendations through simulation. So, nagtanong ulit si JM. Chinek niya uli sa Waze app. Paano kaya ako mapapabilis ng pagpunta doon? Ano yung pinaka-best or ano yung best na ruta na pwede kong daanan para mas matulin yung pagdating ko doon? So, nakapagbigay ng recommendation si Waze. O, nakapag ito yung dinaanan mo, 60 minutes yung biyahe mo. Kapag ito namang isa, 57 minutes lang. Kapag itong isa, 55 minutes lang. May binigay ba sa ating recommendation or suggestions? Yes. Thumbs up. May binigay sa atin na suggestions. And that is how the data becomes business value. Yung mga data na nakokollect natin from a certain department or certain office can be useful to give us description through the use of descriptive analytics. We can also turn those data into something na predictive. No? Bigyan tayo ng forecasting. And yung mga data rin na nakokollect natin, pwede tayong bigyan ng options, bigyan ng recommendations and suggestions kung ano yung pwedeng gawin through the use of analytical tools. Nakuha niyo po yung difference ng tatlo? Yes, yes. Alright. So, yun yung importance, no, kung bakit natin kailangang intindihin na yung mga extracted data na meron ang bawat kumpanya ay beneficial at hindi lang siya basta-basta dapat itinatapon kasi nga kailangan natin siyang i-warehouse. Because at the end of the day, even if we think na yung mga collected information natin from the previous years, 2010 na yung information, 2005 pa, naakala natin ay hindi na importante, darating pa rin yung panahon na magagamit natin siya. Dahil, eto nga, may mga analytical tools nga tayo na nakakapagbigay ng suggestions, recommendations, nakakapagbigay ng prediction, and description dun sa mga data na ini-store natin sa warehouse. Nagigets nyo? Ayan. So, thank you dun sa mga nag-heart. I hope na nagigets talaga yung differences ng tatlo. But, that sums up my discussion in the second unit of business analytics. And once again, business analytics framework has 3 processes. Yung data extraction, ano yung tatlo na yun? Data extraction, ano yung kasunod? May nag-raise hand. May nag-raise hand ba? Ayan. First step is data extraction, second step is data warehousing, and third is ETL or extract, transform, or load processes. Yung tatlong steps na yon ay paraan para maintindihan paano natin nakokolekta o paano nagiging useful yung mga data na meron tayo from different departments. Kukuhanin from different departments, iipunin sa isang warehouse, at pagdating ng panahon na kailangan natin siya pagsama-samahin, gagamit lang tayo ng analytical tools. Yun yung ETL. Doon naman sa types of analytics, doon na natin tinaturn yung data into business action. May tatlong paraan naman tayo na pwedeng magamit. Descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, or prescriptive analytics. Ayan. May questions po ba so far? May tanong po ba? Anyone? Yan, mukhang walang tanong. Pero hindi ako mag-a-accept kahit isa. No? Baka may question kayo. Mag-go on ako sa discussion or sa pagsusummarize nito kung magtatanong kayo ng dalawang tanong bago ko i-end tong meet. Kahit easy questions, baka may parts lang na nalito, may parts lang na hindi klaro, kayo mahiyang magtanong, po pwede ko namang i-entertain. Hanggat hindi daw nagtatanong si Just Leia, hindi ko daw i-end tong Google Meet. Baka lang may parts na nalito kayo or all clear naman, nagets naman yung framework and yung types. I am hoping no na nagigets no. This discussion might be different from the first one. Medyo iba siya, pero still may connection pa din kasi may mga similar na mga descriptions na nabanggit. Ayan, may tanong na si Mr. Kaliva. Yes, anak, or may gustong i-share? Ay, si Sir PL po yun. Oh my God. So, nasa library ka pala. Alright. You can raise your hands or kung wala na questions, na pa-raise hand na lang para makita ko na lahat kayo ay walang tanong. Sige, wag niyo ibaba para makita ko na lahat kayo ay nandito sa meet kung naka-raise hand lahat. Sige anak, I will post it sa GC natin. Pauline, yung iyong concert. Hindi ko pala na-send, sorry. Ayan, ilan na yung naka-raise hands? 34. So, I assume na majority doesn't have questions. Ayan, dahil wala na kayong tanong, yun lang naman ang coverage ng Unit 2. I hope na all clear naman sa end nyo. Ayan. So, once again, sa learning objectives natin, we discussed how data becomes business value, and we explained the basic concepts on data analysis framework, data extraction, data warehousing, and data analytics. Alright, so wala na kayong tanong, kaya i-end ko na tong aking presentation. Just screenshot some proofs na ako ay natapos na. Ayan. So once again, thank you for listening, aking Junakis. Dito sa second unit ng Business Analytics.